Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm sorry I missed the end of the show. Did anything cool happen?
Yes, you missed it. Captain Crust came in here and he was talking about how today we are going to give pizza to homeless mothers. How cool is that?
Where are you guys doing that?
We are going to a place called Holy Ground.
Okay.
And it's a faith-based homeless shelter for unwed mothers, homeless mothers.
I love that.
Mothers that need a little bit of love. So who doesn't love pizza?
I'm glad Captain Crust is in town. I seem to miss him every time.
Where were you?
I was pooping.
Jason was pooping. Captain Crust was awesome.
Oh, Captain Crust does not poop. That's not...
Really?
Yes.
That's the thing about him, huh?
That's one of his superpowers.
Is he backed up?
He can eat as much pizza as he wants. Much cheese, never poops.
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's constipated perpetually.
That's what drives him, the constipation.
I've never heard anybody talk about the crapping habits of superheroes, but I do wonder, would Superman's turds be able to... could our modern earthly toilets deal with what would come out of his anus?
There's no way.
Faster than a speeding bullet?
Unless there's a way Superman can do things in a human-like way, but if he just has to be Superman while he poops and he can't be Clark Kent, I think he has to go to the Grand Canyon.
He may have to fly into space. Drop his... that suit's not easy to get off when you got to take a dump either.
Space turds.
Yeah, I don't picture Superman...
I would think it might take out a planet.
What do you think asteroids are?
That would have been unbelievable. Yeah, imagine if that would have been a scene in a Superman movie. There's an Earth-shattering asteroid coming towards us. He flies into space, and one of his turds fly out of his ass and hit the asteroid and blow it to bits and saves Earth.
They call it Pooperman.
That would be amazing. That could be something. We might be coming up with our own Justice League.
Oh, no. We have too many characters already. Now we got to add Pooperman?
I think Pooperman, yeah.
When I think of superheroes, I go, Superman doesn't poop. Batman definitely does. Robin does.
Yeah, because there's
They're
nothing.
human.
Yeah, but Aquaman.
I think he poops.
Does he poop like a fish?
I think he does. I think
You ever seen like a fish poop? It's kind of like just a blast of mud that kind of comes out. Is that kind of what he does?
That's why he wears green pants. You can't see it.
I feel like pooping underwater would be so nice.
There's so many people that do it, and you can't think about it when you're in the ocean because people do poop in the ocean.
Yeah.
It is a fact.
I would never do it because it's terrorism at the beach, but pooping underwater, just think about it. After you go, it's immediately clean.
To me, it grosses me out. There's zero appeal about pooping in the ocean.
Well, if you do, you got to swim fast. I don't know what I'd swim faster away from, shark or my own turd.
What if it chases you?
Exactly, it might.
It's
Like balloons in the car?
We're not good enough. We're not good enough scientists to know about trajectory and all that stuff. We don't know where this thing's going.
We can't even say trajectory.
Exactly. You think we're knowing where this poop's going?
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, I never even thought about that. Wonder Woman. Does she fart, and then what is it like? Is it like a superhero fart? Is it powerful and stronger than a regular human?
She doesn't.
Everything she does is stronger and more powerful.
She doesn't fart or poop, but she does queef.
Really?
Yes.
How about that? Yeah, just things you never knew about your favorite superheroes. We just never talk about it.
Look it up. It's on Google.
She queefs, and it sounds like a trucker's fart. It's wet.
All right. Now you're starting to turn me on.
Something you never even really think about, honestly.
Yeah.
Gotta get to that. Well, if you are looking for some things to watch, you got obviously plenty of superhero stuff out there, but a suggestion came in here from Rochelle. Want to know if we'd seen the show Animal Kingdom on Netflix. Ellen Burkin and Scott Speedman are two of the main characters. It has 6 seasons. It's about the matriarch and her sons. They rob to make a living. I started halfway in because my boyfriend was watching it, but I was hooked.
I did see it on Netflix yesterday as I was scrolling through. It looks good.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't give it a try, but I'm open to it.
She said it kind of gives a Sons of Anarchy vibe minus the motorcycle crew.
Huh.
She said to check it out.
It's a crime family, and the mom is like the leader. That's fascinating.
It's good stuff.
I like that.
It's odd. I don't know if I've even heard of that show.
I saw it yesterday. They were pushing it on my Netflix lineup.
Is it new to Netflix? Because, they'll find shows that have been popular somewhere else, and they kind of dig them up.
They do.
And then they make it into something because of the platform that they have.
And I also never believe Netflix top 10 trending. I think they make their own what they want to push. Oh, it's in the top 10.
It's an algorithm
I think it's a fake algorithm.
with an agenda.
Yes.
And they know what they're doing.
Says after a heroin overdose kills his mom, Joshua J. Cody moves to Southern California to live with his freewheeling relatives. The family's matriarch is Jay's estranged grandmother, Smurf Cody, from whom he's been shielded from for years. He finds out more of the reasons for the isolation.
Oh, the grandma is running the operation.
Smurf and her boys make their livings through carefully planned armed robberies and other criminal activities. Prominent perpetrators include Smurf's 3 sons, mentally disturbed ex-con Pope, hyperactive drug user Craig, and suspicious Duran. Okay.
Wow.
Okay, that's what it's all about. It's got 76% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
And she has already started watching it and vouches for it.
Yeah, apparently she's hooked. She loves Animal
All
Kingdom.
right, that's all I had to hear. I already thought it looked interesting yesterday.
To me, if 3 out of 4 people like something, I'm going to give it a shot. Mm-hmm. I think 75 is a good number. I know people go, 75, that's shit. That's 3 out of 4 people.
It premiered on TNT in June of 2016, so it's 9 years old. And it's based off a 2010 Australian film of the same name. So that's where it came from. Okay, there you go. There is another show that I hadn't heard of. Have you heard of Adolescence on Netflix?
No, what's that?
It is the second most watched English language series on the platform. It surpassed season 4 of Stranger Things with 141.2 million views in its first 80 days.
Wow.
It trails only Wednesday and the non-English Squid Game in Netflix's all-time popularity rankings. It centers on a 13-year-old schoolboy named Jamie Miller, who's played by Owen Cooper, who is arrested after the murder of a girl in his school. And apparently it's done by Brad Pitt's production company, Plan B Entertainment. They are in talks with Netflix about a possible second season. I had never even heard of it. Adolescence. And then they say that Stranger Things has announced the release plan for the 5th and final season of the show. It's going to be airing in 3 parts, the first debuting November 26th. This is an interesting schedule. Kind of like this. I'm not usually a fan of the debuting in 3 parts, but they're going to debut it on the 26th for Thanksgiving when you've got free time and you're just sick of your family and you want to put something on so they shut up.
That's smart.
The second debuts on Christmas when you're kind of chilling with nothing to do and you're tired of watching football. And then the series finale is going to be on New Year's Eve Day.
Huh.
How many per little mini season? 3?
Didn't say here
4.
what I have. Don't know that answer. That's a great question, though, Jay Bird. And Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune is going to start premiering new episodes on Hulu, Peacock, and Disney Plus starting this September. So you'll be able to get the shows on demand now.
You can go old school, I think, too.
Maybe. That'd be kind of cool.
There was, I forget what platform it had old school Wheel of Fortune. You could go back to season 3 if you wanted to, but I don't suggest that. It's very depressing.
Okay. Well, I know our very own filmmaker here, Jason Cheeseberg, is looking for an on-location site for a jail cell, and a lot of people have suggestions, including Jennifer. She said, you're talking about a jail scene, and I suggest you look into escape rooms, several locations that offer jail-type scenarios. One's in Abacoa, I believe.
They have a jail at the one in Abacoa? That's right across from civil society.
Does it look like an escape room or does it look like a jail? You see what I'm saying?
I haven't been in it. I don't know. But that would be a lot easier to probably do than get a real jail.
Probably looks like a jail in a escape room.
Yeah, that's
Which might look like a movie set.
yeah. No, I definitely appreciate the suggestion. That is something to absolutely look into.
Okay.
I'm open to anything. Mm-hmm. Oh, I would say I'm open to anything, but
Sexually? In the jail cell?
Someone's also saying Yesteryear Village has a jail cell, and so does Lake Park's Sheriff's Office.
Lake Park.
Oh, Lake Park Jail. That would have some special
Meaning.
significance.
It absolutely would.
The city of Green Acres, apparently, they have an actual jail cell in the old section of Green Acres.
But are they cool with filming? I get that they have it, but I'm like, hey, yes, I do a goofy radio show, and
We need somebody who knows somebody.
That's what I think. That's really what it comes down to.
It's all about who you know.
It really.
And in jail, it's all about who you blow.
I mean, in jail, it's all about who you know and blow. You gotta know some people, but yeah, you gotta blow some people.
How bad do you want it?
Look, how bad do you want this in your movie, Jay Bird? If you could line up a jail cell in exchange for a little head,
How good is this prison cell?
he might suck somebody off.
If it looks like the cell from Silence of the Lamb, drop your pants.
Well, there you go, kids. You heard it here first.
Yes, I'm offering the casting couch to you.
The other way around.
I'm laying on it.
Yes.
Wow, for once, a director that actually blows you.
It's cutting edge, Kevin.
It's not really the Harvey Weinstein way.
No, nobody's doing it.
And one text says Miami is home to several abandoned prisons that have become popular film sets due to their historical significance and unique architectural features. One such notable location is the former Dade Correctional Institute located in the southern part of Miami-Dade County.
Yeah, somebody even said, and I don't know how true it was, that you can rent some of these cells out depending on who you're talking to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, now that could have been a lie.
Could see that.
Everything's got a price. Here's the deal. Everybody's got a price, and you just have to find the person with the right access and the right motivation. And sometimes money is the best motivator for us humans.
The Lake Park Sheriff would be, you have no idea how perfect that would be.
We do know some people in Lake Park government.
Yeah, we do.
We may, at worst, we can ask and they say no.
See, this is where Princess Pepperoni is great. She can get locations, Kevin.
Okay.
We do know people
Well, you know people.
to ask.
You've got the you got the connection.
You do too. You know the people I know. You went to school with them.
Oh yeah. Fuck. I have a bad memory.
I went to school.
What a dick.
He forgot about school.
You wouldn't know it, but yes, I went to school.
Jeremy's asking, Kev, did you ever find the indoor pool at the Guitar Hotel at the Hard Rock? I did not. Honestly, I kind of forgotten about it after getting there. I didn't explore a ton. We were down in the casino area, and I did get out to the guitar part. I thought we were in the Guitar Hotel. We weren't. We were still in the old section. But I did go over and check out some of the new pool area, and they got some really cool cabanas over there. My wife is looking into. She's like, that's where you want to be.
It's a private area where the cabanas are.
Exactly. And so my wife's like, well, we need to, that's where we need to be. I'm like, absolutely. I said, why don't you look into that? She's like, yeah, it's $1,500. And you have to have a $500 minimal food tab.
Whoa.
So it's $2,000.
Whoa.
To get that. And could you imagine, and they say too that the rate fluctuates. Could you imagine if there was a big event that was going on there or something at Hard Rock Stadium, like the F1?
You think it's going to be $2,000? Like, I'll be $4,500?
Could be.
Okay, according to my sources, there is a indoor-outdoor pool, but it's in the spa at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino.
Okay.
So you have to be, I think, in the spa to find it.
Gotcha.
I did not go to the spa.
No, we didn't either. I mean, we weren't there that long. We were there for the afternoon, a concert at night, and kicked around a little bit in the morning to have breakfast and then got out of there. So didn't really fully explore it. But it was fun, and it was so nice. We were like going, yeah, I think we probably want to go back sooner than we have. I hadn't been there since. In fact, I remember the last time that I was there was right when we were about to leave Station 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was when we went and we were hanging out at the pool bar. And at the end of it, I'm like, well, let's just get a room. And like, we don't have a room. I was like, uh-oh. So we had to sleep in the car.
That's so low budget.
It was so low budget, so miserable. And it was so hot. It was in the middle of summer.
Hey, is that Kevin from the KVJShow sleeping in his car?
It was terrible. I didn't even sleep until the windows were down because it was so hot in there. And I'm still sweating. And there were 1,000 mosquitoes all over me. Oh, it was one of the most miserable nights I've ever had in my life. Yeah, so I learned a valuable lesson. If you go there, don't assume they have a room.
We have no rooms.
What do you mean I should have made reservations?
Yeah, and this is really kind of before the Uber was a thing, I might have just been like, let's screw it. I'll Uber home and we'll try to find a way back to get the car. But yeah, didn't happen. Well, there are a lot of people that are kind of going off on the email we had. There's a kid that had kind of adopted a bit of an iguana that was coming around the house. He even named him Spike. I don't know if he's leaving food out for him or what, but it was talking about his stepdad was saying, look, this thing's wrecking our place, and killed the iguana in front of the kid. And then when the kid obviously was upset, and the wife is like, why would you do that? He's like, because this kid's soft. He needs to see this is the way the world is.
I'd be like, okay, we need a divorce because this is just, you're just not the man I want to be with. You're not going to be the role model for my son, you dumbass.
Yeah. Lynn said, yeah, she needs to divorce this guy immediately. There's something wrong with him. Such creepy stepdad vibes. Andrea said the same thing. He didn't need to do this way against a child. Yeah, I understand. He has an argument. Sure, if Spike's tearing things up around there, he's got to go somewhere, but you don't have to do it that way.
Everything's about approach on this planet. And yeah, if the thing's destroying the house, yeah, I get you got to get rid of the iguana. You don't fucking kill the thing right in front of the kid.
No, he named it. That's like his pet. And I know it's not like a real pet because he's not like in the house, but he named it. There's a bond there. You are a dark asshole.
Not only did you kill the iguana, you killed the kid's excitement, his spirit.
Well, I'd made the comment too. I said, yeah, so forever he'll be Mark or whatever. He'll never be dad to this kid. That's the kind of stuff that you just don't get over. And Pamela said, my husband, my son's stepfather, did stuff like this, saying that my son was soft and he did some cruel stuff. And my son hates him to this day, and he is 40 years old. He blames every one of his childhood problems and drug use on my husband, and he's not wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where, look, I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of divorce, but if you are a mother in that kind of situation, I think you need to protect your child first. And if you put them in a new relationship where that person is not kind to your child, then that's when I think a divorce is necessary to protect your child, because look at the damage that happened to her own son.
I just always try to put things through my own filter. If I was 7 years old and my dad did that, that would be something
awful.
I would still talk about it.
You'd be so crushed.
Yes.
That's the adult that you're supposed to be looking up to help shape you, and they abandon you and betray you on such a deep level as to shoot your pet in front of you. Fuck that guy.
It's not about the iguana problem anymore.
No. This guy is actually undateable. You shouldn't be married to him. You shouldn't have him around your child. You need to get away from him as soon as you can, because this is permanent damage he's doing to the baby you've been entrusted to take care of.
Well, because I think he even said in the email, he was even kind of saying, your kid's too soft, he's got to get tougher.
Fuck that guy.
So he thought what he was doing was the right lesson.
I'm going to show you soft.
Which is fucked.
I'm going to stick something up your soft bunghole like a knife while you're sleeping, dick.
Just don't say bunghole, because that's gonna make people laugh. Because that's just, who says bunghole?
Bunghole.
I love to say bunghole.
I know you do.
I will stab him in the bunghole.
A favorite of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, bunghole and butthole. If you're in a real argument with somebody and someone drops one of you fucking butthole. I'm going to start laughing.
Well, now I know how to make you laugh next time we're fighting.
We get into a fight, just call me a butthole.
Diffuses everything.
And those are the kind of things that happen in your childhood that you don't know how they affect you as you become older and the
You're
problems
right.
that you have.
You have no idea the kind of damage that you do with childhood trauma. That is trauma.
Yeah. And Heather had sent an email here talking about MDMA therapy. She said, on the subject of mushrooms and enlightenment, I just finished a great book called The Tell on this subject. It's an audiobook, or it's in print too, read by the author, who discovered through a guided psychedelic trip of MDMA that she was horrifically sexually abused by her favorite middle school teacher.
Oh, no.
Frequent and unspeakable abuse by this guy. She had always, since those years, felt like she was always running, literally and figuratively, from something, but couldn't figure it out. The drug experience shined a bright light and a transformative light on what had happened to her.
Oh,
she then
my.
had all the answers to her unexplained feelings of unworthiness and more. I didn't really know the subject matter of the book before selecting it, but the story is powerful. This therapy seems to be becoming more accepted, and I think the FDA is reviewing for prescriptive use. The whole topic is really quite amazing and interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure completely, but I thought in certain states that even certain amounts of mushrooms are legal and prescribed by doctors.
Okay.
In capsule form. Now, it's microdosing, but I think it's under a doctor's care. If I'm wrong, please let me know. But I've heard a few people bring that up to me, and I don't trust nothing on the fucking internet anymore, man. I'm
Amen.
sorry. I just don't.
You can't.
People always say, oh, just Google it. Well, I do, and then I look like a dumb fuck on the air. Yeah, Kevin, it's legal in every state. Everyone can do it.
Yeah, I am open to it, and I'm looking a little bit more in it. And just from what I've learned and seen, and it just feels basic to me that when you're talking about some of these things that are natural, that come from the earth, that we've not manipulated and changed, seems to be better for you in getting over some of the traumas and the issues that you have. I guess, they call it holistic. A lot of people thought you're some kind of crazy tree hugger, but now I think people are saying, no, you know what? We've always had amazing medicines that have come out of the ground that we're not making in a lab. And if you look now, it just really seems like that's better treatment for your body than doing pharmaceuticals.
Well, I think people have started asking questions because they've been through pain from pharmaceutical drugs. I think we all can have a personal story about someone who took too many pills or changed their personality, and you ask yourself, is there a better way? Are there other alternatives to do? And everyone's different. Everyone's. I'm not saying that a microdose would work for Virginia, and it could work for me. I mean, everyone really is different, so you don't know.
They said that they're seeing a large growth now amongst older Americans that are jumping into marijuana, which would be more natural. Before, they would have all kinds of prescriptions. Have you ever seen a grandparent or maybe an aunt, and they had 25 bottles of pills they would have to take in the course of a day?
Totally.
You're like, what the hell is all this? And one of those Netflix specials about health, I don't remember the title of it, but they had somebody that was breaking down all the pills she took, and I think it was high teens to low 20s in every course of the day. She said, I take this to offset that. I take that to offset this. And that was the whole game. She had, honestly, she probably consumed more calories in pills than I eat in a day in food. And it was insane what she was taking it for, because every pill caused a problem that another pill was supposed to fix.
Wow.
I think the reason why, and I could be off, you see an increase of older people doing marijuana now. It's socially accepted. I mean, it's across the board now. Even when I watch these body cam videos, I hear the police officers most of the time to go, I don't care. I'm not looking for weed. I'm not looking for that little amount of weed. Even the police have lightened up. Some police have lightened up on that. I think through society, we've kind of relaxed a bit. So when people see, oh, Barbara down the street's doing it, I'll try it now. If Barbara's doing it, and she would never do anything, I think that does affect on how people kind of view it. I've even heard people talk about that.
They said the rise is attributed to, one, the growing legalization. And I had been that way as well. I didn't like the illegality of it and didn't want to. Have you ever got arrested and all of a sudden it's like it's a drug user and it's like, well, is he doing heroin? Is he doing MDMA?
Yeah,
was he
smoking a
doing
blunt?
cocaine?
A lot of people think that way, though. They don't want to break the law.
Right.
Yes, you are a 1,000,000,000% right.
And then they say also, too, the increased knowledge of how it can treat chronic medical conditions like heart problems, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. So now when you have these things published in reputable medical journals and you see that it's not illegal and you say it's natural and you start to understand how bad some of the pharmaceutical drugs can be, like, this seems like a good option. And they say approximately 7% of adults age 65 and older have reported using marijuana within the last month. That's a 46% increase from 2021.
I'll tell you who, I say it all the time, who got done dirty, Ricky Williams.
Yeah,
That
I
man
totally agree.
He got done dirty so wrong.
So wrong.
When it comes to how they treated him in the NFL.
And he was such a peaceful guy that just didn't want to take pills to treat pain.
Well, maybe he was hard to deal with because he was going through pain and didn't want to take prescription pills and wanted to smoke some weed because he knew that was better for his body.
And he was
and
right.
He was vilified for that.
He was in Miami just a couple of weeks ago back here. He doesn't live here normally. I think he's in Texas, but that's his whole game. He has basically a weed business, and he deals with all these holistic therapies and, you know, all about getting your mind right and that. And so that's really his, and I think that's really become his passion, you know, since football.
He was right.
Good for him.
He knew it way before we did. He was a groundbreaking way of thinking that we just weren't ready to hear, Ricky.
Well, I think people who didn't understand it weren't ready to hear Ricky.
The NFL wasn't ready to hear Ricky.
Well, again, because weed had a stigma to it that it doesn't have anymore.
Mm-hmm. And they say what's surprising about these numbers is not only just the 46% increase with those over the age of 65 since 2021, the increase is most pronounced among women. They're the ones doing the majority of it.
Sweet.
And they say that the biggest uptick was observed in the highest income bracket, with adults earning over $75,000 annually. And they said what's interesting is if you go back to 2021, they were the lowest use rate category. Now they're the highest rate category, and that flip happened in 2 years.
They can afford it. They can get their card. They can do it legally. I mean, there's many reasons why, and it's acceptable.
Yeah. So that's interesting changes that have been happening with that.
Don't worry. In 5 years, Kevin will be going, oh, yeah, you can get cocaine deals.
There'll be cocaine dispensaries.
I've heard people talk about
Well, wasn't that email just now saying that the FDA is looking to MDMA as possible treatment for psychological traumas?
I mean,
So there you go. You may be able to get a Molly prescription.
imagine me doing Molly and then getting on this microphone.
Oh, boy. That'd be a lot.
Her? Princess Pepperoni.
Oh, I
on
would
Molly?
tell all the secrets.
with an open
Terrifying.
I would.
Is that what happens? Do you get honest on it?
You get fucking honest, and
Do you really?
and you get horny. You get horny, my dog.
Wow.
You do. I'm lying. You get honest, and you get horny, and then you get honest about how horny you are.
And then, Kevin, you get fucked by Jason.
Oh, you'll love it. Okay. Only if you're on Molly.
So I got to do Molly, and then I'll be like, oh, yeah.
Finally.
No,
Finally.
but that is a side effect. I'm not saying everyone who takes Molly gets horny, but it's known to absolutely be an aphrodisiac when
I've
it comes
known
to
the thing about petting things. In fact, I can't remember, was it you, Virginia, or my wife that was telling me, or maybe even you, Jay Bird, who's that Theo Vaughn, the
Theo
comedian?
Vaughn. That was me
It was
telling you.
Yeah, and he would, you can tell the story, it's yours.
So back in the day when he was trying to make money, long before comedy, Theo Vaughn and his ragtag bunch of buddies, they used to buy hamsters and go to raves in Louisiana and stand out front and sell hamsters to all the people coming out of the rave on Molly because they just wanted to stand there and bet something. He said they would buy the hamsters for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
They would sell them for like $20 a hamster, and all these people that were on Molly would be petting these hamsters.
People will buy some wild shit on the street and in parking lots. I mean, we sold raw meat.
Yeah.
Right down the street, people bought. I couldn't keep that raw meat quick enough. We had raw steaks to see if anybody on the street would buy it.
Yeah.
I was sold out in 5 minutes.
Some people don't have a problem with it.
And I was dressed real weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see people buying hamsters.
Katarina said, can you bring back stories from a stoner? You can add Jaybird now that he isn't hiding being a pothead. Even repeats would be great. I love hearing them.
That's so funny.
Yeah, they were amazing stories that I don't know. What would be great now is to have those on video, and that might have been an era. I think it was. I mean, it would have been on KVJ TV, but where they are and all that. I mean, they were 6 years, 7 years ago, something like that.
I think what it was going on was Denny started running out of stories. Now, here's a couple good things. If you do add me in, you're going to double your stories. A lot of them have to do with me and him, and we have new stories and new material.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, it's obviously Denny's call, but I would be more than happy to hear some of the stories again because they are a bit fuzzy now. I just remember a few of them and some of the things that made me laugh in them. So I would be completely fine with hearing them again if he's okay with telling them. But that might be something to bring back, and then we can. Because what we're trying to do now is how we repurpose the KVJ content is we're trying to give you the audio and the video clips, whatever's more convenient. And we don't have individual clips of all that. We would put together a whole stories from a stoner section so you could actually go through and watch every single story one after the other.
That would be so good.
Yeah. Ryan G said the story with the drug dog was the best. We got if he's okay with it, we got to do it because I don't even remember that one.
And maybe it's a thing where we do it once a month. Maybe it's a special thing. Maybe it's not every single Friday.
Yep.
It's like you said,
dictated by Denny's.
Yep.
We'll let him decide. It might be possibly a fun summer series too.
I will say this: there's definitely new material with.
Okay.
Cheech and Cheech.
All right, I'll let you guys talk it over and you guys work it out in your head and figure out about how many stories you'd have to tell. And
that's funny. The person called me out though, because I remember back at Station 1.
Yeah.
And Station 2, and even here in the big, it was talking about weed. Mm-hmm. You weren't really, it didn't jive with a lot of people, and when that kind of all did change when things started becoming at least
recreationally legal in a lot of states.
And you could feel the vibe change of everything. You could imagine me telling weed stories on our old station.
No,
it wouldn't. I just don't think it would have played. I think we would have been called in a meeting.
Right. Probably right. Well, it's a great suggestion. Appreciate that. I always love getting the feedback. Because honestly, it helps us really design what content you guys want, how you want it, and all that stuff. So pretty much everything you see on KVJ, it's all been your suggestions and what you want to hear or see and how. So always let us know. mail@kvjshow.com. Well, I'm pretty excited because my daughter Caitlin, she's been working for 3 weeks straight. She gets off at 3 p.m. today, so I get to see my baby girl.
Aww.
That's fun.
Yeah, I only got 1 week, and then she's got to take off to Europe for a little while.
Wow, that's fancy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
that nanny gig is pretty sweet for the travel part.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's a cool little experience for her, but it's going to be nice to see her.
Is she still doing a lot of running?
Yeah, she is every day.
Good for her, man.
Yeah, she's really into that. So she's doing all that kind of stuff. She's living well. So we're going to go enjoy my time with the fam, and we'll dive back up for you again tomorrow here for the KVJ Show. Goodbye.